Now to the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial. Rapper Kid Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Mescudi, testified today. The musician and actor told the jury a Molotov cocktail was thrown at his car shortly after he says Combs learned of his relationship with Cassie Ventura. The defense pointed out no one was ever charged in the incident. Scott Mescudi, also known as Kid Cudi, told the jury he was friends with and briefly dated Cassie Ventura in 2011. He was under the impression Ventura and Sean Combs had problems and weren't dating anymore. Ventura called him in December 2011, sounding stressed, nervous, scared because Combs found out about them, he testified. Mescudi says he was confused because he didn't think Ventura was still dealing with Combs. Jurors heard about a phone call Mescudi and Ventura had with an employee of Combs who was very scared, sounded like she was on the verge of tears. Because he testified, the employee said she was physically forced to go along with Combs and was in a car outside Mescudi's house. Mescudi went to his home. He noticed security cameras were moved. No one was inside, but he says gifts he bought family had been opened, and his dog was locked in the bathroom. He called Combs looking to fight him, thought better of it, and called police to file a report about the break-in. The next month, he says, a Molotov cocktail was thrown at his Porsche parked in his driveway. After the incident, he met with Combs and described walking into the room. Combs, he said, looked like a Marvel supervillain, staring out a window, his hands behind his back. They went over his dating timeline with Cassie, saying Combs' point was they were homies and you knew that was my girl. When they shook hands, Mescudi asked about his car. Combs, he says, replied, "What car?" He testified he thought Combs was lying. Years later, he ran into him and Combs generally apologized. On cross-examination, the defense asked and Mescudi acknowledged he never heard anything further from police and didn't have any information that Combs or anyone affiliated with him was at his property. The defense asked if Ventura was living two different lives. Yes, he said. They asked, the person who played you is the same person who played Sean. True? True, he testified. And Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. A former executive assistant of Combs also testified he left the job because he was not comfortable with, quote, the physical behavior that had been going on. He told the jury he looked away during an incident with Cassie on Combs' private plane, saw injuries on her face another time, and saw Combs throwing apples at another girlfriend. He still said he liked Combs and does keep in contact with him. And I'll be back in court next week for more testimony. There's no court tomorrow or Monday for the holiday. For the latest on the trial, you can head to CBSNewYork.com.